Good morning, Internet. Today is Thursday. It is test day, CDL test day. It's make or break time, people. I'm ready for it. I am. I haven't mastered, but I am definitely well proficient at all of my backing techniques. I feel comfortable in the truck when I'm out on the road. And the only thing I am having a slight issue with is the memorization of everything that I have to do in pre-trip. I've been watching videos. I studied my guide for the pre-trip, and I'm crossing my fingers really hard. I'm going to make it. I've got this. I'm going in a little early this morning because I actually want to get on one of the trucks and do a pre-trip inspection of it myself. That way when I go to do the test, I'll be fresh on it, ready to go, you know. It's one thing to study a book and watch videos. It's another thing to actually get on the truck and point to the object that is you're looking at, you know. So, and because a lot of these trucks are so different, I mean, we actually have like 4 trucks on the yard, and the alternator's on a different side on almost all of them. So, yep, I'm just going out there a little early to get that taken care of. But we're ready, and we are ready. We have already got our pre-hire information from the company that we're going with, and our orientation starts on Monday. So, when I graduate tomorrow, I've got to go down to the DMV and take a hazmat test, which is something else I've been having to study for. And because the company actually doesn't require, but recommends that you come with your hazmat so that when they pick a trainer for you, you're not limited in the routes that you can take because you don't have your hazmat. So, yeah. But they're going to be reimbursing me for that hazmat. It's great. So it's good. No big deal. It's just a lot to cram, you know, all at once. But I've got a little bit of time. My CDL's today, and I'll go and get my license tomorrow with the DMV. So I can get that taken care of. And we'll be good to go. Clayton passed his CDL yesterday. This was actually a pretty big class for this school. We had 11 people in my class. And because the new class starts every week, the class behind us, see, the way they set it up is your first week is all classroom training. Fine, dandy, they have to get everything like drilled into you. Good. By Friday afternoon of the first week, you're out on the range starting on straight line backing. Fantastic. Which meant Friday afternoon there were 16 people on the range trying to work with 4 trucks. Not a whole lot of time in. So as of Monday morning, all those people were still on the range. So it's been a little difficult. However, the way that they've worked it is they also have to, they can take 4 people at a time on the road in a truck, and then while they're out there they switch at certain locations. So for the entire morning they'll take 4 people out in one truck, and they'll actually do 2 trucks like that at a time. So it frees up the range a little bit. That still leaves somewhere around 6 people on the range trying to share 4 trucks, which is not a bad deal. But when 4 of those people are taking up one truck because they haven't learned the next maneuver, whatever. Again, it was a big class, and at times it kind of felt like we weren't getting enough time in because there was only one instructor on the range because the other 2 were being taken out by the other trucks. So it did feel a little tight at times. But I pick up really fast when it comes to that kind of stuff. It was just learning the maneuver, understanding how the truck pushes the trailer, and how you can manipulate the trailer while backing. It's a series of formulas that they give you that show you how to do it, but most of it is just allowing it to sink. Understanding, well, if I turn the wheel this way, the trailer will go this way. And if I recorrect to this side, it'll line up the trailer this way. So it's just a matter of letting it sink in and understanding it, and not hesitating when you go to correct. So I pick up those things a little quickly. I think for me, in the way I learn, it's always been a more of a hands-on. They call it kinesthetic learning. I actually learned that in college. There's like five different ways you learn. Audible learners, and they've actually got other names for these, but there's audible learners, visual learners who can pick up by reading. Kinesthetic learners are more hands-on type people. They have to actually practice what they do in order for it to click. Anyway, yeah, you get the idea. But I've always been more of a kinesthetic learner. When I can put my hands on it, when I can actually physically do it. You can tell me how to do it a million times. That doesn't always mean that I'll pick it up. Now, audible learning is one of my methods. So you can, if I hear it spoken, it works. One of my worst ways of learning is reading. For some reason, I'll read it 15 times. And it just doesn't click. Unless I can actually practice doing it, it doesn't click. So I can read it like 15 times. If I'm expected to do it after reading it immediately, it won't click. I won't be able to do it. That's why memorization for me has never been a really great tool. I have to actually get out there. Now, I may have recited and remembered everything that I need to do, but until I get out on the truck and look at the parts that I'm having to do on my pre-trip and say, that's the pitman arm, that's the drag arm, that's the castle nut, and this is the alternator, these are the belts, this is the fan. I mean, I'm a mechanical person. I've been a mechanic. So most of this stuff is pretty easy. It's just knowing that I have to recite it when I actually take the test that might be the issue. You see, and one of my classmates actually said it pretty well yesterday. He said it seems redundant. It seems kind of stupid that, I mean, not stupid, but it very redundant that you know what you're looking at. You know what you're looking for. But the fact that you actually have to say it out loud to an instructor makes it feel stupid. But you got to do it that way. And that's a lot of our issues. We're just saying, because, and there was actually, off the pre-trip for just a second, there's actually a maneuver that we have to pull in the truck for if we're carrying hazardous materials and crossing over a railroad track. There's a specific certain number of steps that you have to take on the approach, before you cross, so on and so forth. And I actually did that the other day, and I did all of the steps. I physically did all of the steps. You have to approach, check for traffic, get into the right lane, check for traffic ahead, check for trains ahead. You have to stop between 50 and 15 feet checking for traffic again and trains. Roll down your window and listen, making sure you don't hear any trains coming. Before you approach, you have to make sure that there is clearance on the other side of the track. Because if there's a stop sign or something like that on the opposite side and you know you can't clear, you have to make sure that you can actually clear before you proceed. So you physically do all these things, but if you don't say that you're doing them, it doesn't count. Because he's not going to sit there and look at you while you're doing these things. He doesn't have to. He needs to know that you know what you're doing, so you have to say it. And that becomes the issue. So, it's just remembering to say what I'm doing every single second. That's going to get annoying. But, part of the test. You know? Got to do it. So, let's do it. You know? Right? I'm excited. I'm getting my CDL today, and I'm starting work on Monday, man. It's pretty cool. You know, I had offers from, and I don't want to over-exaggerate this, I actually had offers from 3 companies before I started school, and then I got offers from 3 more once I got into school, because they actually do a process of giving you like a dozen applications to fill out while you're in school, because they want you to have a job before you finish school. And they feel that their completion rate in the school is legitimate enough to get you a pre-hire, which is true. Most of the companies that see a legitimate school on your pre-hire, on your resume, with their stamp and everything, almost get you in the door, guaranteed. Almost, depending on your background stuff. If you've ever had speeding tickets and so on. So, yeah, I mean, I was pre-hired by 3 companies before I ever got into school, and then I got pre-hires from 3 more companies once I got into school, which was really cool. So I've got pre-hires right now from 6 companies that I can choose from. That's pretty awesome. I can choose between any 6 of these companies, and I really only put in applications with the companies that I felt I was interested in. I didn't bother filling out all dozen of these applications because I knew that those companies weren't going to be a good fit for me. And once I knew that I was being pre-hired by other companies, I kind of felt like, well, if I put in an application with this company, I'm going to get a pre-hire. So it kind of worked out. So I've got my pick, but we've chosen a company that we feel is going to be the best for us. We're very excited about it. Can't wait to get started. And I keep saying we because me and my buddy Clayton are going together. Clayton and I met in school 3 weeks ago. Him and I are clicking pretty well. So we're really excited about it. Now, we're not sure as to exactly how they're going to train us. If we plan on going in as a team, we've already stated this to our recruiters. We said, well, me and this guy are going in as a team. Oh, y'all are going in as a team? We got to do this a little different now. Cool. They may actually train us as a team. They may not. They may split us up and we go to 2 different trainers. So, we don't know. We won't know until Monday when we actually get there. Now, just to let you guys know, a little in advance now, that I have never stated outright the company that I will be working for. There are a few reasons for that. I feel it's safer for both myself and for the company. Not that I'm in any way ashamed of the company that I'm going for. I am very proud of who I'm going to be working for. They're a good company. I've done my research. But there's always going to be those bashers out there. You know who you are, you troll mongers. Not interested in hearing all the negative things you want to say about the company that I've chosen. Oh, this guy did this. Oh, this company had these issues in the past. You know what? So be it. I did my research. I looked all of the information up. You know what? You're going to say things about any company that I work for. You're going to do it. So, with that said, if I plan on continuing to do this vlog, and I do say if, because I'm going to have to get out there and test the waters, make sure that I've got that kind of time and the equipment, because right now I'm running on a low-tech budget. I'm actually using my cell phone, which is a great, good phone that does very well. No, it's not an iPhone. I am not an iPod or an iPod. I'm not a Mac person, guys. I have an iPod. I have a MacBook. But I got that because of school when I was in college, and I was an art major. It seemed to be the industry standard, and it was a necessary thing. So, I'm running on a low-tech budget, and my MacBook may not be able to do the things that I needed to do in order for me to get a vlog out every day. So I may need to wait for a little while until I can purchase something a little bit better. Time will tell. We'll figure that out. So instead of telling everybody who I work for, I would rather just keep that to myself. It's not something I plan on broadcasting. The company stays safe that way. I stay safe that way. So that, God forbid, somebody out there doesn't like what I say in my vlog. And if they knew what company I worked for, it wouldn't be anything for them to call that company up and say, well, this guy's doing this on the road, and this guy's doing this on the road, and taking pictures and vlogging about it. You know? Haters are going to hate because they've got nothing better to do. Let me say that differently. There are negative people out there, and for some reason, they just want to bring everybody down. Some of you out there may not like the fact that I'm a Christian, and I occasionally give you passages and scripture. That's your prerogative, man. Change the channel. Watch somebody else's video. Somebody needs that information. You know? But that's not a reason for you to try and get me fired. So, I'm gonna continue doing what I'm doing, and I'm gonna do it the way I believe it needs to be done. I love everybody. I love all you guys. Anybody who's watching, leave me some comments, guys. I'd love to see comments. I will answer anything I can. I promise. I will do the best I can to answer every single question you have. And if it's not something you want to leave in the comments below, send me an email at youandmetrucking@gmail.com. There's a possibility I may change this channel. I may fix, because I realize that it's actually got my name on the below instead of You and Me Trucking. Apparently that was my fault because I didn't set up the YouTube channel properly, because now YouTube is directly connected to Gmail or Google. So I have to create a completely new Google account in order for it to show a different name. And in order to do something other than a normal first name, last name, it has to be something like a business account or a community account of some kind. I'm still researching that. If anybody out there knows exactly how I can create a YouTube channel with the phrase You and Me Trucking as the title instead of David Hawkins, let me know, because I've been trying to figure that out for a while, to use a fictitious name as my name in a YouTube channel. It's been a little difficult. I'm trying to figure it out. And you can laugh about it if you want, whatever. I am a techie, and there are just some things that I have not been taught. You have to teach, or you have to be taught to learn in one way or another. So, that's it. I'm almost here at school, guys. I am going to get off here so that I can go and do a pre-trip inspection and pass this test. I'm ready. Anyway, you guys know what to do. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Always leave me comments below, guys. I will answer them. You can also reach me at either at David Hawkins at Twitter or at You and Me Trucking on Twitter. And I can always be reached at youandmetrucking@gmail.com if you want to leave me a personal message. So subscribe, guys, so that you can get the updates from every time you see another video. You'll probably see some more here very shortly. I might do a quick pre-trip inspection video. I might not have enough time. Looking at the clock right now, I might not have enough time. And then it's on to my test, and we'll do some more after that. I'll probably do a victory video. That's a little foresight right there for you. Might do a victory video. Anyway, guys, love you guys. As always, stay safe, drive right.